Hello friends, today I will discuss on contents of a research analyst report. This video is useful for those who are registered as research analyst as well as those who aspire to become research analyst. These are the basic contents that I am presenting. You may add more contents as per your requirements. Let us deep dive into the contents part. First of all, the report must contain the title of the report as mentioned. Then it must be mentioned who has prepared the report. It may be the LLP, it may be the proprietary concern, or it may be the company that has made the report. So that company along with its address and other details must be mentioned in the prepared by section. Next is brief introduction of the research analyst and its team. There are three types of organizations. One is proprietary concern, then there is LLP or partnership firm or a company. Based on that, you need to mention the directors or the partners or the proprietor. Next part comes executives. In executives, you will have to mention the names of the employees who have worked on this report. Next is table of contents or index page. This is the main page which contains the summary of all the topics that you are going to cover. So basically I have divided it into 8 parts or 8 chapters. You may add more chapters as per your requirement. Then in this we have the executive summary, global outlook, industry outlook, company overview. In company overview, you will have to mention about the board of directors, management team, then the products that the company is producing or selling, then the financial statements, marketability, and your analysis on the company. Next is the recommendations. You may give buy, sell, or hold recommendations. Secondly, you can give price targets and stop loss for the stock. Next is disclosure under regulation 19 of the research analyst regulation. Next is the contents of research report, in which you will have to describe the basis on which you have come to the conclusion. And lastly, disclaimers if any. Executive summary. Person who has an investment capacity will look into executive summary only. It outlines the other 7 points that we have covered in the contents part. So you will have to briefly summarize for an investor on each of the 7 points. Next is the global outlook. In global outlook, you will have to mention the current scenario for the product which the company is manufacturing or the sector in which the company is operating. And next is the industrial or sector output. In industrial or sector output, you have to do the fundamental analysis of the industry and sector. Then next, based on that, you will have to do the technical analysis. Is there any chart pattern or price patterns that are being formed? You take a call and mention in this section. Next is company overview. In company overview, you will find that you will have to make a brief mention of the board of directors. This is the brain of the organization. These are the guys who are going to run this organization. Then the management team. This is the executive team which will execute the program that is designed by the board of directors. products is the list of products that are manufactured or produced by the company. Then you jump into the then you jump into the financial statements. What I mean by financial statements is the balance sheet, the profit and loss statement, and the cash flow statements of the company. Next is marketability. Based on what information you have gathered, you will have to study the marketability of this company. You will have to study the whole supply chain, right from the raw materials, production processes, labor, utilities, to the sale of the products, as well as converting back into the cash, like receivables into cash. Then you will have to do the fundamental analysis. From the above gathered information, you will have to see the fundamentals of the company and you will have to take call. Next is the technical analysis report. You study the company. First you study the sector. Thereafter you come to the company technical analysis. Compare it with its peers and take a call. So you will have to do a technical analysis. You will have to maintain a chart in this section. Recommendations. Recommendations may be buy, sell or hold of this particular stock. Next is you will have to give the price targets and stop loss. Next point is about disclosures as required under regulation 19. You must comply and mention this in this particular chapter. Contents of research report as per regulation 20. Regulation number 20 of equity research regulation requires certain points like reliable information and terms. So the source of information from which you have collected the information is reliable, and the terms that are used to describe a particular item must be consistently followed in preparation of your report. Next is the rating system. Suppose you are giving ratings to particular company or particular product, you will have to make consistent effort to make consistent. You must maintain consistency in this rating system. Next is graph of daily closing prices of securities. So you must prepare a graph if you are giving projections or target for 1 year or more. You will have to maintain the closing prices of the particular stock for at least 1 year or 3 years, whichever is minimum, as per regulation 20 of equity research regulations. Next is disclaimers. There are two types of disclaimers. Disclaimers that are required under the regulations, that is sebi equity research analyst regulation, which are required to be made in this section. Next is legal requirements which you may decide based on which you want to make disclaimers. Thank you friends. This is brief information. Do connect with me. Do like, share and subscribe to my channel.